uni. I am so excited. My wife and I are full on in production of, I don't know where wearing headphones. I'm not listening to anybody. My wife and I are all in this radical production phase. The Ultimate Life University is just birthing, and it is so exciting. The joy of radical growth. Now, when I describe my mission, I had a chance to do this today. I recorded another podcast episode with coaches, one of the Thursday episodes. It'll be out in January. And here's a vision. I want you to get a vision. I want you to picture a swamp, quicksandy, kind of messy stuff, right? You've seen it in movies and whatever. And there's a bunch of people in it. And the sky above it is kind of gray. And I got a haircut. My head itches a little bit. The sky above it's kind of gray, and there's people in it. Some of them are knee deep, some of them are waist deep, and there's a swamp here. And they're reaching for help, right? They're reaching for help because why? Because when you're in a swamp, you don't want to stay there. The swamp is a sucky thing, right? So they're reaching for help. And there's all of them. And of course, they can't help each other, really, because they're all stuck in the swamp. Some are deeper than others. But if I'm only knee deep and I'm yanking on somebody that's waist deep, guess what I'm doing? I'm down waist deep suddenly. You know that. All right. And there's a name under the swamp. The people in it can't see it. But if you were able to step way back, like miles and miles back, you see a label, and it's kind of ugly gray. And you know what it says? It says, learned helplessness in that sort of ashen font, right? And addiction to mediocrity and victim mindset. Those are the names. Learned helplessness, addiction to mediocrity, and victim mindset. And I've lived in that swamp. Have you lived in that swamp ever? Or maybe you are. Or maybe you go in and out. Maybe you visit once in a while, right? It's a sucky place. It doesn't feel good, does it? It's just like horrible. It drains your energy. It makes you sick. It makes you feel victim-y, and you want to get out. Only, do you? Because what I notice is I didn't want to get out most of the time until I really did. And then I was willing to do what it took. So there's a picture, okay? Now, way over here, there's another picture. And you know what it is? It's a beautiful meadow. Now, meadow is a word we don't use a lot, but think of a beautiful mountain meadow, sure. There's beautiful green grass, wildflowers everywhere. The sky is flipping blue. It's gorgeous. And the energy there is glorious. Just feels contagious, right? And there's a few people there, not a ton, way more in the swamp. And if you step way back from the meadow, it's got a name too. And you know what the name is? Fierce life ownership. Radical excellence. Kind of like radical growth here. Radical excellence. And a passion for service. I want you to think about the contrast. Learned helplessness, addiction to mediocrity, victim mindset over here in the swamp. And over here is this beautiful meadow. Fierce life ownership, radical excellence, and a heart to serve. Now, you'd think the people in the swamp would do anything to get to the meadow, but the truth is most of them won't. But that's not what we're talking about. Right now, I'm going to talk about the joy of that radical growth, because moving from one place to the other is radical. And here's the interesting thing. You cannot helicopter in, pick somebody up out of this and put them over there. Can't happen, because that kind of change is an attitude, and it takes some doing, some significant commitment, real choice and real sacrifice. And so I want you to think about something. Maybe you know somebody, if it's not you, maybe you know somebody that's living in this swamp. Victim mindset, addiction to mediocrity, right? Learned helplessness. Maybe you know someone there. Now, and maybe you or someone you know is living in this beautiful meadow of like radical excellence and passion to serve and fierce life ownership. FLO. I love that flow. Flow. There's no reason, no coincidence there. So maybe you live there, right? And I want you to imagine what would happen to a person who was in the swamp and they did the work to get to the meadow. What would be the difference in their life? What would be the difference in their daily joy quotient? Right? DJQ, your daily joy quotient. Why you'd live every day joy, and that's why I talk about ultimate life, purpose, prosperity, and joy. Because if you live with fierce life ownership, radical excellence, with a passion to serve, you can live like that even if you're sick or if things aren't going right or you're broke or whatever. You can live like that. And if you do, you know what'll happen? The world bends itself to your will and good things start happening. That happens all the time. But I want you to think about the difference it would make for a person to jump from this, not jump, to crawl, to work, over the bridge, the difficult climb to get to the other meadow. And it doesn't have to be difficult, and it doesn't have to be suffering. That's the topic of another live. But I want you to think about what a difference it would make for that person, for people all around them, their family, their partner, the kids, their others that they know, for those that they serve. What would be that difference? Now, I want you to think about if you see the impact that one person would make on not only themselves, but everything they did and everyone around them. I want you to think about what would happen in the country or the world if we moved, if not just one, not we moved, but if one, not just one person moved, but if 300 million people moved intentionally, on purpose, with focused effort to the meadow. Think about what that would mean in terms of joy, in terms of lack of hostility, in terms of love, acceptance, tolerance, growth, people helping people and everything. So I did an interesting thing. I proposed that to ChatGPT. And this is a chat that I have trained with my millions of words, and literally millions. It told me I have about 4.5 million words uploaded. And so if I, in that trained one, I asked, well, what would happen? What would be the effects of that? So, and I said, I want to put some real thought into it. Tell me what the effects would be. I did the deep think thing. So yeah, I was surprised by the depth of analysis. It talked about the difference in the economy and in the, society in general and just all kinds of stuff. And after it listed several things, it came to a conclusion that, and boldly stated in clear terms, it would change the world, period, completely. It would be an unrecognizable change. Because 300 million, even though there's 8 billion, 8.2, I think last time I looked, 300 million, right? That's, 5% maybe of the world's population. But that, it's sad, is a critical mass. It would absolutely change the entire world. Now, I didn't know it was going to say that, but it was interesting to see the analysis. Now, the joy of radical growth and why I'm so excited about the university is that's my mission. Last year, my mission was to reach 300 million people, to reach them with a message of purpose, prosperity, and joy. The truth is you're built to love and serve. We're built to have joy. We're built to love and be kind to each other. Most people don't do that, but that's what we're built to do. And this year, the mission's changed. It's still 300 million, but it's not just message. It's message, method, and mastery. Message, method, mastery. And I have all that organized. And I'm putting it together in the Ultimate Life University. And that university is going to have 4 schools, 4 complete schools of mastery, transformational mastery. And I'll talk about those later in subsequent videos. But that's launching in 28 days, January 1st, it's launching. And we're going to open 1 school at a time. But that's why I'm so excited, because my commitment is to nurture 300 million people to understand and claim worth, identity, possibility, ownership, sovereignty, WIPOS, WIPOS. And the motto or the goal of the university is education, empowerment, encouragement, execution. The 4 E's. That's the mission I'm on. I live it, I breathe it, I bleed it. That's what I'm doing. And that's why I'm so excited and literally overcome by the joy of radical growth. Now, if any of this interests you, let me know, because I'd love to tell you about what this looks like. It's going to be awesome. And it is going to change the world. And I'd love to have you on board or help or whatever way you feel called to get into this thing. I'll tell you more about it as the days go by. I love you.